Alrighty, guys, let's get into it. So today we're going to cover adding personal training to your gym. So when I first started in the fitness industry, predominantly we were like 90% one-on-one personal training. So we built up to a level where we had 13 personal trainers working at our gym. We kind of changed over to the group training model. For like a lot of different reasons, we saw it kind of like trending that way, and we believed it was a more sustainable model. But that being said, we've never shied away from having personal training in our businesses. I'm a massive believer in both any type of fitness, but I'm a really, really big believer, being a trainer who did, up to like 35 hours one-on-one myself. I've seen some amazing results and some amazing body transformations, and got honestly some of the most amazing friends and support networks in my life from my personal training clients. So I think it's a great addition to all gyms. I'm going to try and present to you with a basic overlay and flow that you can kind of use in your own gyms to essentially potentially earn up to an extra 70, maybe $140,000 a year. Any questions you have along the way, I want you to kind of post them in the chat or anything that comes to your mind, and then I'll come to those at the end as well. So for those of you who haven't done any like personal training previously, so some of the big benefits, and this is just like my beliefs of the benefits. And firstly, it's easy to adapt around injuries. So we do have people coming in with aches and pains. So you might have a situation where someone's doing really well in the groups, for some reason they get an injury or an ache and pain. You can easily move them into personal training for like 2 to 6 weeks to keep them training and keep them moving. It's really great for certain types of personalities as well. So some people just don't like the group environment, and that's totally okay. By having the personal training service like one-on-one, it's more suited to them to keep them training in a really comfortable environment that makes them happy. It's also well known as the highest quality of service. So, like one-on-one's like kind of like the pinnacle of training. They know it's one-on-one, they know it's customized, it's done around the world. So generally when you think about it, like one-on-one compared to say like a team training or boot camp, people do think they get a better quality of service, which essentially a lot of the time they do, even though I know a lot of us, in this group are actually, bringing the personal training model into group training, but you can kind of never really, I guess, copy it 100% in that group environment. They also get amazing personal touch points with the trainers. You build some amazing relationships and friendships. It's really great to, build and support your clients, which you can do amazingly well in a one-on-one environment. It's kind of unmatched. You can't really simulate that in the group training environment. Obviously, they get a customized approach with progressive programming. So that way, you don't have to come in and, do a group training class where it might be progressive and regressive in the classes, but they actually get something that's completely customized as well. We use it a lot at our gym. Sometimes if people are a bit wary about getting into fitness, they haven't like trained in a while, it's really great. You can give them, 10 sessions, get them back into it, and then, get them into the group training as well. They can get increased knowledge of key lifts. So if you have someone who's struggling with form in the gyms and they're just it's not clicking, how to do a front rack kettlebell lunge, for example, you can give them those one-on-one sessions just as knowledge. So then they can go and perform in the groups a lot better. And it's also great, anyone who wants to go to another level. So they might be performing at a certain level in the groups, but they want to get, a really strong deadlift, for example. With that customized programming and approach, it can and really take the clients to a new level. So just in the chat as I'm following along, guys, I just want you to type whether you yourself has ever done one-on-one personal training before. So that would be you being a client, okay? And then you hired a trainer one-on-one in a gym. You have, Jackson? Awesome. Tony, you haven't? It's a good experience, man. I have to give you some sessions one day. And now we're going to cover why your business needs it. Norman. So Tony and Norman, I want you to, if you know a trainer in the area, try and get some one-on-one sessions so you get to kind of feel what it's like. Tony, you're a bit bit far away from me, Norman, you can come over to Code 5 and I'll bash you up, bro, in a sesh. Now, why all businesses need it? Now, firstly, guys, there's a massive market begging for PT. Now, the main market that we market for our personal training at Code 5 is generally that over 50s market, because they don't fit well into our groups with the high intensity type of training. That being said, there's a lot of people who really want PT. It's going to add amazing dynamic to your business. And, it's going to help you stand out from, the crowded group training gyms. If we talk about F45s, they don't do PT, like Orange Theory, all those kind of chain gyms aren't really doing this. So, and it gives you a point of difference. And I mentioned before, one of the best points of difference we can use is that if someone sadly does get injured in the groups, which happens, then you can keep them on that recovery route until they come back in. So they don't need to suspend, which other gyms just simply don't do. It's going to help broaden your marketing as well, because you can target like different demographics. As I said, predominantly we target like the 50 plus 45 area for our personal training, just because we know they have the disposable income and they like that customized approach. But also, guys, it's going to add insane profits to your gym. So if we charge out at 118 an hour. I'll kind of show you that in a little bit. But if you're paying your trainers anywhere between $30 and $50 per hour, you guys are very smart. You can do the math, and let's say imagine if we added 40 hours of PT off our calculations at Code 5, that would earn us another $140,000 like net profit per year. Right, it's absolutely insane. It also helps increase what the trainers can earn. So, every model is different. We pay our trainers predominantly full time. So they'll get like a set salary for 38 hours. And then anything they do on top of that with their PT, will pay them like a certain amount per hour, depending what level of trainer they're at, which, trainers really like, especially for your casual trainers. They pop in, you give them an extra 5 hours of work and they're really, really thankful and grateful for that as well. You can also attract really high quality coaches. So, obviously if you have really great pay systems and structures, you're able to get, a really nice high level quality coach, because, generally they're used to earning pretty good money. And what it all comes down to, why we're in this business, is to get absolutely amazing results with our clients. And, I know group training gets amazing results, but I also know personal training gets phenomenal results as well, because it attracts, a different type of client a lot of the time. And, that's what we're really here for. And you can go and find maybe 40 people that really want to do one-on-one, and you can absolutely change their life and, really enjoy the benefits along the way of that. So guys, our pricing and structure, and this is exactly how we do it from Code 5. So we charge $118 per hour. They can either do 30 or 60-minute sessions done on a recurring debit. So generally our clients will do 2 30-minute sessions every week. But that being said, everyone's like a little bit different on that. We don't run 45-minute sessions. I think 5-minute sessions definitely have their place. However, with Code 5, the way that our trainers' hours work, it just became very difficult. So we decided to stick on the 30 or 60-minute blocks. We book in the same times every week for 24 weeks. So in any new contract that we sell at Code 5, and I've kind of covered this in previous videos, but we always want to be, after their initial trial offer, we're always selling 24-week programs. And, makeups can be done if they give us 24 hours notice. They just kind of contact the trainer to kind of organize those sessions as well. And with our trainers, we'll pay them casually between 30 and 65 per hour. Skills and volume dependent. So we'll kind of adjust their pay. Obviously, if they do more hours, we can increase their pay and things like that as well. But just as you're following along, guys, in the chat, I want you to type whether you've done any one-on-one training before, what you charged for that as well. So how much you were charging per hour. It could be currently, or it could be, anything you did in the past as well, just so I get a gauge on that. At Code 5, like we'll use full-time trainers a lot. So our amazing coach Em, so she's a full-time trainer. Generally for probably everyone on this call, I'd recommend starting off at like casually, and then they can essentially go into full-time. It was definitely a learning curve for us to hire a full-time PT where she had to do 20 hours and things like that. It can be done, but to put everything into kind of perspective is we're willing to like lose a couple of $100 every week while she kind of grew and stuff like that. So we got 65 per 30 minutes. Awesome. 50 for half and 90 for an hour. Cool. So that's kind of your options on the staffing. Now with our process, so we use a 3-session trial process. So, you know, sometimes it's paid, sometimes it's free, just depending on the offer. I'll kind of cover the marketing in a second. But what they'll do, they'll come in and meet Coach Emily. They'll kind of do their goal setting and movement analysis in that first one. So they'll kind of do a body weight squat, a push up, a lat pull down, a few other tests. And in that 30 minutes, we're just judging how they move. And then we finish that off with a cardio finisher. So they have a nice little, I guess they feel a little bit puffed and they've exerted a little bit of energy on that. And what that first session is about, because you guys can copy this with your trainers as well. It's just like a meet and greet, and just to make sure that you've, you know, dotted the I's and crosses the T's on how they're moving. Okay. The next one's an intro session. So this is a structured session that we tailor depending on the skill set of the person. So they'll do a push movement, whether that be a push up, like a dumbbell press or a barbell press. They also do a squat. They run through their different regressions and pregressions depending where they're at. They won't kind of run into those. I'm sure you guys are pretty well aware of those. They also do a hip hinge pattern, overhead press, and then one shoulder movement with a cardio finisher at the end. And all this is just setting up some baselines of where their strength is at. Again, just seeing how they move. It's a lot harder session. They'll generally do 2 sets of between 10 and 15 reps on the 6 exercises with the cardio finisher at the end. Now, while that's all being done, obviously we've done the goal setting for 24 weeks. We've done the movement analysis. We've done an intro session with a cardio finisher. You kind of understand how well someone moves. We generally try and do these sessions only a couple of days apart. So, you know, as I'm presenting this, it's Tuesday. So I'll come in today and do this on Tuesday, and I'll do my next session on a Thursday. So it's quite quickly apart. And in that time in the background, we're writing up their first month block of programming. So they get their customized session and their programming, which then we'll present to them. So then that will continue them on for the 24 weeks. After that, we'll continue on for their first month of program. In this goal setting and movement analysis, that's what I wanted to add in. We do in-body scans in our club, so you do their weight measurements and everything like that. You know, personal training, like all training, should be progressively and results focused. So that's what we use. We send our meal plans sent out via email, and they also get one text from a trainer outside of the session as well as like an accountability tool. Now, in this, we often use a secret sale. So they might do 3 sessions, then they, you know, commit to doing 2 sessions for 24 weeks after. And at the end of every session, you're just asking them what they're planning to do ongoing with their program. So you want to sell them on every session to try and get that commitment. And then in here, often their first set of programming, because we have a programming system, is all they're doing is they're adapting that first month of program of their, you know, body composition training and just changing the exercises to suit. So you only have to present them the first month of programming with their meal plan. And often at the end, it's such an easy sale. It's just, you know, how many sessions would you like to do? You know, ongoing, we recommend doing 3 per week. It's a really nice, seamless process. Now, if people come in, like we do a 6-week transformation ad for our personal training as well. So even if they've signed up full price on 2 sessions per week, we still follow this same process, you know, every single time, whether they're doing a irresistible offer or a trial, or whether they're full paid, we still follow the same system. Ongoing retention, guys. So, you know, you want to just consistently show progress each session. So, you know, whether that's them improving on the rower time, obviously you get to know a lot about their nutrition as well. So it's just something that, you know, when you coach your trainers on it, you just want to make sure that they're tracking their weights, tracking their times on cardio, because you really get the ability to do that. And that way you're about to show, you very easily show all the amazing things that your clients are achieving from personal training. And, you know, one of the things as well that we do talk to our coaches about is not always focusing on like, you know, physical you know, changes. It could be that, you know, they've cut out coffee, that they're starting to get up a bit earlier, that, you know, they're happier and they're enjoying their sessions more, they're not getting as sore. But you're always just reiterating that and showing all the amazing things that they're doing. And you always want to customize the experience. So, you know, resetting their goals, making sure that everything's tailored to them and not very cookie cutter. You know, as trainers get busy, often, you know, and I know no one on this call would do this, but often they have a tendency to get like a little bit lazy and do like a one size fits all approach. So you do want to make sure this, I believe personal training is always like has to be extremely customized and suited to the person, and always mapping out their 24-week plan, guys. So you can always use this in group training as well, but to know where the client needs to be every month to hit their 24-week goal. This is a part of our sales process. And, you know, building relationships and showing how much you care, that goes such a long way in, you know, all parts of business and life. But, you know, that's a million amazing ways. Like, you know, Coach M, who's doing an amazing job for us at the moment. She'll go for walks with her clients. She'll goes for coffee with her clients. She like sometimes they'll jump in with a session with her when she's training by herself. And she's doing so well just because she genuinely cares and builds relationships with these people. And then also resetting their goals every 12 weeks. So we do this across our whole company. So like every 12 weeks, we will set goals. So we have like a week where we'll send out emails and text messages where they fill out like a Wufoo form. So they follow that same system, and then they either get like they either talk about it in the session, they might get a phone call or an email, depending how complex the goal setting, but just to make sure we've acknowledged it. And then we give them a little plan of attack as well. If you guys ever want any of that info, you can just post it on the legacy page, and I can kind of send you off the Wufoos and explain that in a little bit more detail as well. So guys, with the marketing, right, I'm so passionate about marketing. It's a really big focus for us on Tuesdays. But one of the things I recommend is if you're adding this as a separate service, so you're currently doing lots of groups or whatever, is you must have someone as a head to run this. So someone who's in charge of it. And you know, quite often as a business owner, you know, it might not be you. It might be a trainer who really wants to build it. And you can have a 30-minute meeting with them once a week. But just putting someone in place who, you know, is really going to look after this program to show it the TLC that it's going to need while it's growing, is going to do amazing things. And we did that with them. We've done it a few times unsuccessfully. And then once we hired her, and she's really proud of personal training and how big that she does want to grow it at our Brookvale location. It's been doing absolutely amazingly well. So our LBE is always 3 sessions, and it's either paid or free. So, you know, just depending when we launch some stuff, like once or twice a year, we'll do 3 free sessions. We've also tested them on ads as well. They work really well. But you can also do 3 sessions for $99 as well. There's not really too much of a difference. We just, you know, depending on our lead volume, we might go for a free offer. When we're just like looking to get them in nice and steady, we'll do 3 sessions for $99. Both convert exactly the same, which is really great. So with personal training, you can have your trainers really highly skilled in what they do in their sales process. So you're still going to convert really, really well. You always want to start with your current client base. So, you know, let's say you want to implement this. So you'll start off by texting all your current members and sending them an email and just getting their interest to, you know, start their personal training program next week. You know, if you do it free, you'll obviously get a lot more people coming in. If you do it paid, you'll get less people, but they'll be higher qualified. And you just need to make the judgment on that. When we relaunched she was new to the fitness industry. So we launched everything free because I just wanted her to get some amazing experience, to run through the process more. And I wasn't really, you know, too fussed about how many people she signed up, because it was kind of like a long-term focus for us. But once you've done that, then you also add in the systems that all new members sign to groups. Let's say you're running let's say a 28-day challenge, or anyone who signs up can upgrade to a trial with their personal training as well. So, you know, say at Code 5, we sell a 28-day transformation challenge for $199. And what the clients can do is they can upgrade to 3 personal training sessions on top of that for another $99. So this is, again, so what you're doing is you're giving people options during their trial, so they can come in and you're, you know, getting a secondary sell as well, which is absolutely amazing, helps add to our you know, bottom line. We have a system with our casuals where they'll get paid 25 per hour for their trial, and then when someone signs up full paid, they get paid their full amount, just to cover this 99, so they get paid something, but they understand it's not the full amount until they join them up. So that's a system that you add in. So at the moment, we do it every Tuesday. We contact people from the last week. I have a few clients who do it, you know, every day. Once someone signs up, they give them a call. And even better, guys, you want to add this into your sales system. So when you're sitting down with someone, you're like, look, awesome, Jimmy, perfect, mate. We're going to get started on this, you know, 28-day challenge. You know, while we're here, would you like to do 3 personal training sessions, only extra $99? You can, you know, make sure we move you on track to losing that 10 kilos. How does that sound? And you can just do the sale right then and there. You don't have to do the follow-up if you don't like. You also get your trainers to offer 6 trials per week. So that's to their 250 list, their network, but also as well to clients that they're training and they get on well with the group. So, you know, if you're doing free trials, no client can do 3 free PT with twice. So even if they do have 2 different coaches there, so they can only do it once. But just them offering, building the relationship, setting a goal of, you know, doing 10 hours of PT outside of their groups will do really, really amazing things, because your still core focus of a business, and most people here, is to actually grow your group training. So this is just kind of like a little side business off that. So the more your group training builds, generally the bigger the personal training will build. And as I said before, you can run free or paid ads. We're doing 6-week challenge ads at the moment where they just sign up to a personal training package. They're working really well. We've tried 3 sessions for free and also 3 sessions for 99. They both work like really, really well too. Probably my recommendation, if you wanted to launch it, would to be to either do a 6 or an 8-week challenge where they're buying into the personal training program. Now, guys, we're in I guess this conversation here to actually launch stuff. So I want you to type in the chat whether you're thinking of launching this into your business soon, the personal training. So you can just give me a yes or a no. And I'm going to explain through the steps that you need to follow to launch this. So the good news is it's not too complicated. I like to keep everything nice and simple. But, you know, if you do need to have a chat about it, just let me know. We can jump on a call. So, you know, your first steps to find the trainers in available time. So, you know, you might have some current trainers or you might have some times yourself, but you just want to make sure that you actually have availability to kind of do this stuff. You know, with the group training, we do ours mostly off peak because we have our group training running in the main times, and it still does really well. So, you know, you just sit down, you quiz with your trainers, find out how many hours I'd like to do, when they're available to do it. Always really helps with the process. Awesome. Norman, kick it off. We can do that, my man. Awesome. Good stuff, Jackson. We can definitely help you launch it as well, especially with Tribe growing so quickly as well. So as I said, find the trainers to do it, and you just want to create a process for your programming customer service expectations. So this, I like to present everything in video. So we'll have like a portal, a little bit like you guys have access to, but it's for our trainers. So just like what's expected, you know, if they've never done personal training before, I would run them through 3 personal training sessions. So you show them what it's like, but you explain to them the trial period. This is what happens on session 1, session 2, session 3. Again, I can help you guys with these. I've done like so many of those 3 sessions. I still remember it to this day. And also what you expect with customer service. You know, every gym owner is different, and you guys get to create it. Do you want programs written out for 4 weeks or 8 weeks, or can they do like undulating periodization, or is this what the programs are like? So you just want to set your own expectations and what you want the client experience to be like and everything like that, and just make sure that's written down. Make sure they understand it, because the last thing you want to do is to launch something and it not go in the right direction that you want it to. Then you want to send the text, email, and post on your socials with a free trial, a beta test. So if you're launching it fresh, I'll just give 3 free sessions to the first 10 people. That way you can teach your staff, they can run through, and of course you're going to sign some people up off the back. Once that text has come through, you've already had a booking, and you teach people the sales process, your staff, the sales processes and the scripts. So with the scripts, guys, it's pretty much just knowing the pricing. Try and sign people up predominantly for 2 sessions a week for that 118 mark. I think it's really great pricing. But just at the end of the session, we say simply, Jackson, have you seen enough to get started in our 24-week personal training program? Silence, just see what they say. Okay. In the sales process, we ran through that, their induction, their goal setting, their movement analysis, their intro session, then their first customized session. And, once you show people that, amazing 4-week program they've written and printed out, or it's on an iPad, then they're usually pretty hooked anyway. Then you get to launch your other forms of social media. You can do things like adding it to your website, add it to your, social media posting. So, you want to, when you commit to this, I want you to commit to it for a year, because it does take time to build up. But, you can reach out to us and we can design some ads together to get some people in. But generally you can get like away with like the first couple of weeks by just doing it internally. And then of course we'll have to build it out, as I said, into your website, into your Instagram posting and things like that as well. At the start, guys, you want to review the program monthly. So that will be with the team. You sit down, what's going well, what didn't, kind of doing like the 360 review of it all, what improved, who signed up, who didn't, getting feedback why they didn't sign up, and you're also getting feedback of the people who did sign up and are doing really well. And once you've done that for 3 months and, it's in a pretty good rhythm, the person looking after it's doing really well, then you only have to review it at your normal 90-day rhythm. So at our companies, we do 90-day game plans, which is essentially where we just look over how all the companies are going. We look over the key KPIs, and that's when you would review that. Guys, and then reward yourself. So, for taking action with a nice holiday or time away, because this is going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of energy. And, if we remember one of the first slides, right, if you get this to 20 hours, you're going to be earning, at least another 50K per year, probably around 70 per year, and you've, changed their lives. So before you go into this, sometimes we go into things and just go, I'm going to set this up. It's a pretty good idea and I get to help more people and earn more money. But I want you to write, down what your reward is going to be once you do it. And it could be time with the family. It could be, one of the rewards that I once got was like tennis lessons. It can be many different things, but I think that you guys will do so amazingly well once we get it to 20 hours and you're earning that, extra, say 50, 60, 70K a year, depending on how you structure everything, is you'll deserve a nice weekend away or a romantic, evening with your partner or whatever that might be. So that's what I always like to do kind of before I launch something, is know, like, once I hit this, what's my reward going to be? And I think you guys should definitely do the same. So I'm going to kind of open it up to the floor now. So if anyone has absolutely any questions at all, what you can do is just shout them out to me, and we can see what you guys thought.